Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'll be reading from my book, A Patriot's Journey, Forging Hope. This is Volume 1. Just be aware that I will be having the second volume of my book coming out July 4th. Today's reading will be called Man Up. I let the situations eat me up for so many years. It is only now I could face it, fighting back the tears. I did a job I was trained to do, and how I did it well. So why with all the deaths am I going through this hell? I thought I was mentally strong and doing what was right. I never talked or showed them everything I kept out of sight. I buried feelings deep inside of me until it began to swell, bubbling to the surface, turning family life to hell. First they walked on eggshells all day long, for fear of getting yelled at for doing something wrong. Isolation started happening. I needed to hide. I want to fight these monsters hitching a free ride. I was no match for the battle of 1 on 7. This is the time I find my wife. It was an angel sent from heaven. She poked and she prodded, pushing me, helping me be strong. She made me take responsibility for my actions, things that I did wrong. She said there are little girls, their dad, not just someone there. Someone really invested that shows that they love and they care. I must thank my wife. She is one tough little mother. She is the rock that God sent to help me recover. I when going through and getting help with some of my issues with PTSD and with my TBIs is it's always gets worse before it gets better. The reason I say that is because you become, for lack of a better term, a different person. Because you have to show your vulnerability. You have to start admitting things that you've been doing wrong or things that are happening that are inappropriate within your household. Um, Far too often, I was treating my family like they were uh, in the military. It was a one-way conversation with all of them. I'd sit there and I would look at my wife and I'd be like, "Hey, this is the way it gets done," and she would try to say something back. I'm like, "No, you don't say anything back. This is the way I said it. This is the way we do it, and we move on. We just get on with our lives." And it took a long time for me to realize that I basically just brought my work environment into my home environment because that's where I felt the most comfortable and safe. And the reason it's called Man Up is because I had to man up finally to recognize these flaws. I had to stop worrying about what my boss said, what my commander said, what the first sergeant was saying, what anybody else was saying. They would sit there and say, "Oh, hey, if you continue on this path, you're not going to be able to do this, and you're going to stay Nick for a long time," and blah, blah, blah. They were selling me on a load of crap that just benefited them. It wasn't what was better for me. And due to the fact that, I'm an operator, I want to be out there. I want to be a part of the fight. I want to be a part with my guys. You know, um, I've had 5 deployments. I did 3 tours to Afghanistan and 2 to Iraq. And so I had a plethora of experience to offer these younger dudes in different scenarios and locations. And if I wasn't out there, then who's going to teach them? You know, Maybe somebody that's never deployed before or somebody with very little experience. And so I was kind of getting like guilt tripped to try to hide what was going on. And actually, a couple of times, um, I I was almost successful in recanting everything, saying no, those tests were wrong, and I'm good, and I'm ready to deploy again, and I'm not taking any meds, so it's all fine, and trying to get myself back into the game. But eventually, I had to go to the Air Force headquarters, and they've been reading my results since the very beginning, and when they did that, uh, the basically headquarters was sat me down, had an interview with me, and was talking to me. And they straight up asked me, "Hey, if we can clear this all up today, put you right back in your unit, man. You're good to go. Control and deployable right now. Would you do it? I said, yes, sir. Sign me up. And he goes, yep. And that's how we know that you actually have issues, that you have deeper things going on that cannot be solved instantly, like you're trying to make it happen. We understand that you want to go out and fight the fight. We respect that, and it's an admirable trait. But the bottom line is, there's something wrong mentally with you, and you have to fix it. And of course, I broke down, and because it was kind of a loss of my identity. You just took 13 years away from me and said, you're now done. Um, of course, I wasn't going to be done overnight. I was just going to be done and kind of going down their timelines and, working a medical retirement that way. And, but I ended up getting back to my squadron, and, um, they weren't happy with the result either. And it was just a very hostile work environment. It was, because I made the commitment. I manned up and I said, my family comes first from now on. I am no longer playing these BS games with you guys and prioritizing my family second like you want me to. Any other unit I was in, my family always came first. And then all of a sudden, I came to that unit, and it was backwards. They didn't care about your family. They didn't care about you. You were an asset. You were a number, and you were gonna get stuff done. And like, that was probably one of my worst experiences in my whole entire military, to be honest with you. And I'm not gonna say the unit because I'm not gonna bash on anybody. I'm just saying, out of my whole military career, man, I had one unit that was just horrible, absolutely horrible. And but it's a reflection of leadership, so take it what you want. Anyways, all right. So man up. You got a problem? Fix it. Your family deserves it. Okay, next poem. It's called Be a Man. My anxiety is caused from fearing to fail every day. I pretend I'm tough, what's left to say. I lose myself in books, movies, music, TV because they become real. The truth is that it's the only time I can be emotional to heal. I know it's not my life that I always wanted to be. I do little pretending I'm the hero character, you see. There are so many times I want to get emotional and cry. I just fought that whiner emotion and don't know why. Maybe I'm scared of how others think I would look. If negative opinions came at me, I would be hit them with a hook. God didn't put us here on earth to be fake life and pretend. It's why we have women to help us with their intelligence they do lend. I have a lot of pride with my ego even bigger. I need to stop being a coward and stop blaming these triggers. The feeling that I might spill, bringing me and my wife close. I know she loves me and cares about me the most. I guess one final thing left to say. I want to be a better man for her today. I've every single day when I was at my last unit. I'm not the one at Luke Air Force Base, if you guys know where I've been around, but the one before it. I had a lot of anxiety going to work. Uh, I've been micromanaged so freaking much. I mean, everybody. It wasn't just me. Everybody was micromanaged. I don't know. For some reason, those people over there felt like that's the only way you can handle somebody is micromanage people. When if you just handle people like adults, things would get done better because people are always trying to prove themselves and to prove their value. But when you micromanage somebody, they don't. So you get worse results. FYI. So if you guys are part of that watching it, remember that. So anyways, I'd have anxiety though every day just showing up to work because I'm unsure what to expect from these guys this time. My whole career I've never had that type of thing, And now I'm like asking daddy, oh, hey, what time do I have to do this now? Oh, what time can I get out now? Oh, you mean daddy has to release me now from work? Never I was in a unit that had that. Ever. And that unit did it. It was crazy. I was an NCO. I had troops underneath me, and I could not release them when I wanted to. That's how much I was micromanaged. It was freaking ridiculous. So that caused so much stress in itself. And then that stress would build. And then on top of that, now I'm trying to get help for other issues, and they're not making my life very easy. So then it builds again. And then all of a sudden, say, you still got your family issues at home, the stressors. I have 3 daughters, or at the time I had 2 daughters. And then I was in the process of my wife being pregnant with our 3rd daughter. So that was another stressor I had. And then I was bringing her into this toxic environment that I was not happy at. And I made it perfectly clear to everybody where I stood at that unit. I was not happy there. I didn't want to be there. They were toxic. I told them that. Hey, I want out. I'm done. You guys are not helping me at all. You're making everything worse. But no one cared. Nobody wanted to listen. Because once again, people only care about themselves. And if somebody did care, there was nothing they could do about it because they weren't high enough ranking to push anything. And maybe a guy that's listening saying, "Oh, wait, I was that guy." Yeah, you were, and you missed your opportunity and you failed to help somebody that really needed it. And it's sad that it took a long time for me to actually get the care that I needed when I needed it so long ago. Um, but I hold no ill will feelings because that's all about being a man and taking personal responsibility. It's all about manning up. So I got the help that I needed because I didn't stop fighting the fight. I was that man that I said I was going to be. I did prioritize my life. I did man up and go toe to toe with people that probably didn't want to let me do things or let me go because they were very upset the fact that somebody else was driving the car and they were just a passenger in it. Hey, that's all about being a man. That's all about manning up. And sometimes there's consequences, repercussions for your actions. And I was willing to take any and everything as long as it meant I was getting better, my family was going to be getting better, and we were going to be on the road to just being a better family cohesive unit. Because I wasn't. We weren't. I was gone all the time, and even being even though I was undeployable because I was D-Nick, I was still gone all the time. All right, so there's a lot of things about being in an operating community that people don't understand. It's just because you're undeployable doesn't mean you can't train nobody. You're still definitely able to train. And hey, I may make some waves telling my side of it, but hey, you got a problem with it? Look me in the eyes. I don't care. Don't be that guy that's screwing up other people. Help them if somebody needs it. Don't put on what I went through because your pride and your ego won't let you help somebody else because you view it as weakness. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. So I have an email, forginghopepoetry@gmail. I want to help people. I want to help you. I don't care if you're a veteran or not. Traumatic situations are traumatic situations, and how you deal with them is what makes the difference. And I've dealt with things enough the wrong way that I now know the right way of how we're going about things. And it's sad it's taken me so many years, um, you know, dealing through military channels and VA channels. And, it's been 8 years of still working on recovery. And I'm still a work in progress. I started the process late and I denied it a whole lot. But no more. So made the commitment, prioritize, and only you can dictate your path of action. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the 2 poems, and God bless.